Hello and welcome to the Healing Waters broadcast. I am your host, Marie Kennedy Groves, and I am thrilled to join you again today to finish out our series on clearing the clutter from our lives. So, to begin, let me introduce myself to those of you that are maybe catching the Healing Waters broadcast for the first time. And let me reintroduce to you who I am to those of you that have been listening for a while. I am a mother of two amazing kids. I am a glam mom to a powerful 4-year-old. I am a life coach. I am a mindset warrior. I have purpose on my back. I know that God has placed me here for such a time as this. I am a creator of life experiences. I co-create life experiences. I am an abundance believer. I believe that abundance is available to everybody, and it is no respecter of persons. I am an intention setter. I live my life very intentional. And I do all of this powered by God. So that is a little bit about your host, Marie Kennedy Groves. So we have been doing this series on clearing the clutter from our lives. And let's just review what we've talked about. We've talked about clearing the clutter mentally. We've talked about clearing the clutter spiritually, physically, emotionally, financially. And now today, we are going to talk about clearing the clutter personally. So let's dive right in, because I love this subject. I hold it near and dear to my heart because I am this person that I'm not telling you that my house is always perfect, because the good Lord knows, and everybody that knows me well knows that my house is not always perfect. My life is not always perfect. My car is not always perfect. My life is, in general, is not perfect. But clutter and things laying around literally drive me crazy. So I have to be very intentional on trying not to let things pile up. Because what I have realized about myself is that when things pile up and things get out of hand in my personal life, that I feel crazy inside. And so I don't always react or respond as I should, because I feel crazy inside. And I realize that I operate so much differently when there's no clutter, when things are in their place. It doesn't always have to be clean. I just like things to be in their place. I am a person who I cannot stand a closet so full of clothes that you can't even push the hangers apart to be able to see what item of clothing that is. I am a minimalist by many standards, but I want only clothes in my closet that I feel good in. I only want clothes in my closet that I wear. I'm done with the days of hanging on to stuff just in case I need them. So I have a strategy. When I buy a new shirt, a new pair of pants, maybe a new pair of shoes, what I try to do, and it doesn't always happen, but what I try to do, excuse me, is if I'm going to buy a pair of pants, then I tell myself, okay, Marie, when you go home, you need to put a pair of pants in the giveaway pile. I have an ongoing bag of giveaway stuff constantly. And whether I take that to the Goodwill or the Veterans or whichever place you want to donate. But I have a continuous bag that I put stuff in until it's full, and then I'll go in and drop off. So I try to, if I buy something, it's to replace something I have in my closet, not to add. It keeps me from just adding, and not going through stuff. And then all of a sudden you have all this stuff and you don't know what to do with it. And you're like, oh my gosh, this is driving me crazy. I can't even get to the stuff I wear and I love. So, I mean, that's an example for clothes, but it can be the same thing when you're buying stuff for your house or you're, I mean, you can just buy and buy and buy and buy and buy till you just have so much that it just drives you crazy. And it puts you in just a crazy space in your head because, like, why? For what? So today, as we talk about clearing the clutter from our lives personally, I kind of want to wrap up all the subjects that we have talked about over the last few weeks and just kind of touch on those to recap. And I know I'm a personal story type girl, but I think that helps you to understand and see kind of where I'm going on some of my thought patterns in this. So I do that on purpose to kind of help you, give you a visual of what I talk about. Plus, I'm just a very unscripted person. I just like having conversations and seeing where the conversation goes. So we are going to pause for a commercial break. If you have not subscribed to the Healing Waters broadcast, hit the subscribe button below and never miss an episode. Okay, we will be right back. And we are back. Okay, talking about clearing the clutter from our lives personally. And I told you in this last broadcast of this series, I'm going to kind of try to encompass all the different areas of life that we have talked about so that we can wrap this up into a neat little bow. So we talked about personally not allowing things to stack up, not allowing things to take over our lives that are going to distract us. So one of the things that I'm listening. I'm big into audiobooks. I think I've said this on prior broadcasts, but one of the books I am listening to right now that is amazing. It's called The 12-Week Year. And it talks about strategies of blocking off times for yourself to focus on, like, strategy times. Like, block off an hour, 2 hours, set a timer, and let everyone know I will not be answering emails. I will not be answering phone calls. I will not be answering the door. I will literally not be looking at anything else in these next 2 hours, except for me focused in on strategizing my next moves of what my goals are, what I'm looking to accomplish. And blocking off, then block off times of complete action. I'm going into action mode. I'm focused in. I'm going to do what I need to do. And let's go. Here's the thing, is when you create a discipline like this, you will get so much more done. Because what is happening in our world right now? We have so much information and technology coming in at us that it is overwhelming. Like, it is overwhelming for the best of the best. And you wonder why some people get so much more accomplished in a 24-hour period. We all have the exact same 24 hours. But why do some people get so much more accomplished? And other people just never seem to achieve anything. And I promise you, if you talk to these people, if you interview these people, there is a common theme amongst all the achievers. And trust me, I've done my research. The common theme among all the researchers, or I'm sorry, the common theme among all the achievers in my research is this: they are disciplined with their time. They are disciplined with their intention. And they have put a very clear roadmap in place of where they want to go and how they're going to get there. So what I would challenge you to do is, whatever your goals are this year, be intentional and strategically set up your days where you block off your time intentionally with how you are rolling out your actions. If you know that when you go into action mode for these next 3-4 hours, and you've already laid the groundwork and you know the exact action you're going to take, and you don't allow any other distractions to come in to that 3 to 4 hour span, it would blow your mind the amount of progress you could make in that small amount of time. You could do more in a 3 to 4 hour time span with zeroed in intention and planned action than a 24 hour time span or an 8 hour time span with no plan, no intention, and no zeroed in activity. It's just like, oh, I want to go check emails. That goes off on a rabbit trail. Oh, you know what? That reminds me. Oh, I need to text this person. You're texting. Oh, I get a phone call. Okay, let me take that phone call. Let me see what they want. Well, then they want something. Oh, well, let me run and do that. And you get to the end of your day and you're like, what have I accomplished today? Like, what have I accomplished today? I've run. I've been busy with no achievement. And when you measure your hours of zeroed in intention of action against what it has produced, I tell you what, success leaves clues, my friends. Success leaves clues. And this is how I am intending this year to live my life. Because as a entrepreneurial type person who has multiple companies going on, has multiple things going on, if I am not strategic and intentional and planned out, I'm just going to be all over the place. And by the end of the year, I'm going to be like, okay, I didn't achieve anything I set out to do. So clear your space that you're working in. Get organized, but don't spend days on getting organized. You would be better off hiring somebody to come in and organize your space so that you can focus on action, on taking action in your business, in your work, than you would to spend weeks trying to organize yourself so that you can take action. So I'm going to tell you, just think about these things. Now, on a Saturday, a Sunday, a weekend, this coming up weekend, I have some very specific intentions that I need to, there's some things I've got to get accomplished. And I have deadlines for. And I am blocking off chunks of time to knock this out. I've already informed those people that I love, I'm going to be out of pocket. Don't expect anything of me during this time because I have things I've got to get done. I've got to focus in. I need no distractions. And I just need to let you know I'm not going to be available to anyone. So that's clearing the clutter personally. I could go on and on and on and on and on about that. If that struck some chords in you and you're like, oh my gosh, I got to get a handle on this, reach out to me. I'm going to give you my information at the end of this broadcast. Reach out to me. We can talk through this further and more personalized to what you are going through and facing. So to wrap up, we talked about clearing the clutter emotionally on a previous broadcast. My friends, that was talking about cleaning up your mind, cleaning up your thoughts. If you've been through trauma, and we all have to different degrees, go get the help you need to clear up your head so that you can think properly, you can respond properly, you can speak properly. It all starts in here. We talked about clearing the clutter spiritually. This is a big one, especially if you have been raised in church or in a religious family. I don't care what the religion is. This one can be huge because there's a lot of manipulation that goes on in religious, and let me put it this way, in organized religion. I'm not saying it's all wrong. That's where it's very dangerous, because there's a lot of right that's mixed in with a lot of misconceptions, misleadings, misteachings. And unless you clear your space spiritually and you tap in to the God within you and you listen to that voice and not all the other stuff coming in, you're going to be in a constant frustrated state of trying to please everybody, trying to act right, trying to be right, trying to look right, trying to serve here and do this to keep this person happy. And stop. Stop. Learn how to listen to the God within. The third thing we talked about was clearing the clutter physically. We talked about setting really small goals, increasing your movement each day, increasing your water intake. Don't try to do it all at one time. Just do some little things that are going to compound over time, because when we try to do it all at one time and we look at the great big goal, all of a sudden we get discouraged and say, I can't do this, and we fall off the wagon. We talked about clearing the clutter emotionally. We all have emotional baggage that we have picked up all the way along through our lives. We have got to seek the help to clear our emotional being so that the energy can flow freely through us and that we can be the force to be reckoned with that we were created to be. Then we talked about clearing the clutter financially. Let me tell you, stop trying to keep up with the Joneses or whoever the freaking Joneses are. Stop trying to keep up with them. Live your life. Live your life financially healthy. You don't have to compete with no one, but let me tell you, financial freedom and financial wealth, once again, starts in your mind. You have got to see it before you can achieve it. So go back and listen to those prior broadcasts to get filled in on much more detail about all of those subjects. This has been such a fun series for me. One, I am so passionate about every single area that we've talked about is such a personal passion of mine. So if you would like to connect with me, you can connect with me on Facebook at Marie Groves. You can connect with me on IG at world_changer, the number 4 life. Or you can email me at mariegroves@healingwaters.info. I look forward to seeing you next time, and I hope you have a fabulous day. Take care, and remember, we were born to thrive, not just survive.